This has more velocity than the intervention. By the way, the intervention is the highest default velocity gun in the entire game. So hello gamers and welcome back to episode 5 of my ranking series. Last time we covered the PDWs, and if you want to know how I rank these guns, make sure to check out episode 1 ranking the assault rifles. And also, since everybody only cares about assault rifles, maybe check out that video. But today we're ranking the DMRs, and you're going to want to watch this because some of the DMRs are super cracked, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, let's go for 1,000 likes. Anyways, let's just start it off with the Mark 11. Now, the Mark 11 is extremely powerful, and it doesn't matter whether or not you're using 500 Phantom, it's still really powerful. The default gun is kind of underrated. It can 2-hit kill torso to about 110 studs, 3-hit kill anywhere on the body at any range, and kill with 1 head and 1 torso at any range, while having laser velocity, 20-round mag, and honestly, if you get the RPM down, pretty high fire rate, not gonna lie. This is extremely strong, however, it does require a bit of skill, because you have to hit 2 torsos to be able to 2-hit kill up close, and you have to hit 1 head, 1 torso to kill at range, which does mean it does take a little bit of skill. But overall, if you are very, very good at getting the RPM down, which I recommend you look up like a metronome for like 280 BPM so you can get that RPM down. Otherwise, if you shoot it too fast, it will slow down the RPM. That's why most people who use this are like, it shoots so slow. It doesn't shoot slow, but for beginners, it's going to be kind of annoying to use. That's why it's not that popular. It's extremely good if you're really good with it, though. I really recommend it if you're really good. Not for low ranks, though. It's one of the few low rank guns I don't recommend, but if you're really good, it can be extremely strong. So I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5. I should mention 500 Phantom. It has extreme draw. However, it can one-shot to the torso and is still semi-auto, but can one-hit kill torso to farther than the AWS, farther than some of the actual sniper rifles while still being a DMR, but it has a lot of recoil, 10-round mag, and only 1,000 velocity instead of 2,800, so I do prefer the default one. But yeah, check out this gun. It is extremely powerful. Next up, we have the SKS, which actually got a nerf, but this gun does have some really nice things. First off, fast reload, very fast RPM, not the best damage, but it has no recoil if you put a full setup on it, like... yeah, it's extremely accurate. If you have a really good trigger finger, it isn't quite as good as it used to be, but it will eviscerate people at both close and long range. If you're not good with the Mark 11, maybe check this thing out. Although the Mark 11 is, in my opinion, quite a bit better because of higher velocity, better hits to kill, and better overall performance at range, with an extremely high recovery speed, which basically makes the recoil in the Mark 11 negligible. If you just like low recoil, this is your gun. Just keep in mind, to be really good with it, you have to have a pretty fast trigger finger, which I don't have an extremely fast trigger finger, but it's fast enough to make this actually really, really good. So yeah, I'm going to be giving this one a 4 out of 5. Before the nerf, I would have given it a 5 out of 5, but it can no longer 3-hit kill to the body really at all. It's a 4-hit kill, which the Mark 11 is a 3 and probably a 2-hit kill. So it's not that great for that, but overall, an extremely powerful gun, and if you don't like recoil, this gun is for you. Third up, we have a gun known as the SL8, and you're probably thinking, well, SL9, right? SL9 is extremely strong. It has kind of bad muzzle velocity, but think like Mark 11 500 Phantom, but better velocity, but it can also headshot kill at any range. It doesn't do great damage up close, but it can one-shot to the head at any range, which is extremely strong, and by default, it has nearly 400 RPM. That conversion by itself is like a very nice 4 out of 5, if not a 5 out of 5 if you're extremely good. However, the default gun is so busted right now because of Marksman Barrel. Now, Marksman Barrel will lower your RPM. However, it will give you better ranges, better headshot damage, better torso damage, better pen, and a much better velocity. This has more velocity than the intervention. By the way, the intervention is the highest default velocity gun in the entire game. It is a sniper rifle that is specifically designed to have the best velocity and ranged performance possible. They literally made it so it could actually be accurate at long range. This has more velocity than that, and it can also easily 2-hit kill and 3-hit kill at any range if you're pretty good with it. Yeah, the RPM is kind of weird. You're gonna have to get used to it versus the default SL8, which doesn't have anywhere near as good velocity, damage, and pen, but has extremely high RPM. So if you have a really good trigger finger, that's really good. However, I'm gonna be real, this might honestly be the best DMR in the entire game, because not only does it actually do damage with this, unlike the default SL8, which is kind of a bit weak. It feels a bit weak. It's actually just very similar to the SKS. In fact, it has a bigger magazine and effectively the same shots to kill, so it's actually kind of better. Even though this has almost almost 400 RPM, which is kind of on the slower side for normal guns. It has a 30 round mag. You will never run out of bullets with this. It will shoot for ages. So yeah, this is a 5 out of 5. I don't think I can give it anything else. The default gun is like a 4. It's not bad. It's kind of just on par with the SKS, and with 300 it's still really good. But let's be real, this has over double the velocity of the 300 Whisper one, but can still pretty easily 2-hit kill at range. Next up though, we have the VSS. Now the VSS can 2-hit kill torso at any range. However, it has 700 RPM. It has a 10 round magazine, but it does have 100 reserve and reloads very fast. And I'm going to be real, if you like the ECR, but you want an ECR that performs well at range and can run in semi-automatic and actually be cracked, because it does more damage than the Mark 11, can 2-hit kill torso, does the same min damage, has better multis, actually does 99 damage to the head up close. This gun is for you. I'm gonna be real, 5 out of 5. I think it might be my highest kill DMR at this point. No, the SKS I think is actually higher, because I used to run the SKS as a low range, but I have nearly 1,000 on this gun because run it on auto and close range, put it on semi-auto and switch to your canted ACOG at range. And yes, this has some drop, but the fact that you can dispense rounds so quickly and easily 2-hit kill people at any range makes this extremely strong. Not the best DMR in the entire game, but definitely a 5 out of 5 because it can contend. You could honestly say that this is the best DMR for both close and long range, because it does really well in close range. If you're good at accounting for drop, it is still possibly the best one at long range as well. Then you have the MSG90. Now the MSG90 does have a 20 round magazine now. You could say it's better than the Mark 11, but I'm gonna be real, something about this gun doesn't mesh well for me. You could say it's better than the Mark 11. It depends on what you think about it, but honestly, with the recovery speed, it just doesn't feel that great. I don't know, the recoil and the velocity and stuff just don't sit right for me. I'm gonna be real. This gun used to be able to one-shot headshot, and it can with the 10-round 308 conversion. However, I don't really recommend that conversion because there are guns earlier and later on the list that have 10 rounds that I just think are better. But if you want something like the Mark 11 that is arguably better, I do recommend this gun a lot. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 though, in my opinion, because I feel like the Mark 11 kind of edges it out. And at this moment, it's kind of my least favorite DMR in the game. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't really enjoy it too much. But it does 2-hit kill limb up close, which is pretty nice, and almost can one-shot head. And with 308, it can do that with 3000 velocity, which isn't as good as the SL8 with the marksman barrel, but it's still very good. But next up, we have the M21. Now the M21 is not the 10 round gun that I was saying is better than the MSG with 308, but it's not bad, not gonna lie. It doesn't shoot super fast, however, it can one-shot to the head to a pretty decent range, like 130 studs, which is not bad at all. It doesn't 2-hit kill anywhere all ranges, but it can 2-hit kill pretty well up close, and it does have extremely low recoil. I'm not gonna lie, it does have really nice recovery speed. The thing about this gun is that since it doesn't shoot as fast as other 10 round guns, it's not amazing, but it does one-shot headshot. So I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. However, there are 10 round guns that are better, specifically the VSS, and I'll spoil it now, the TCR is just way better than this. However, this is competitive with those guns, not gonna lie, and that low recoil and fast recovery really does help it to stand above stuff like the VSS and the TCR, which have a little bit more kick. It does have good pen and good velocity, so really good gun overall. Next up, we have the Beowulf TCR. Now the TCR has a few different conversions, none of which are better than default. If you want a worse headshot kill range and a worse 2-hit kill range, or a bigger magazine, and don't use 458 because just don't, it's not good. 556 does give you a 30 round magazine, higher RPM, and kind of just a SL8 type experience at a higher rank, and requires a conversion, and SL8 with long barrels better. Then you have duplex, which is kind of cool. It can one-shot headshot, and it does 70 to the body, which is technically a little bit more than the limb damage of the default gun, and it does have binary kit, which does make it kind of have this weird burst fire mode. However, I'm gonna be real, if you're gonna use anything, don't use any of these. Duplex is not bad, not gonna lie, like it's decent. If you're not great with the gun, then use duplex, because like there's no recoil and stuff, so it's kind of nice to use. But I am going to be completely real, if you want to pop off the default gun with the long barrel, because this gun is now my favorite DMR in the entire game. Honestly, one of my favorite guns in the entire game at this point, because it has a 2-hit kill to anywhere up close, a 1-hit kill to about 120 studs, but it has that RPM. The attack reload is very fast as well, and it has 3.3 studs of pen. And also, because of its torso multi, it is able to 2-hit kill to the torso at any range. So if you want a VSS basically that can one-shot headshot up close, actually not even up close, very far, and yeah, it does shoot a little bit slow. Oh my gosh, like this is what I'm saying about this gun. This gun is so cracked. If you want the MSG90 but better RPM, better damage at range, better damage, better pen, better reload, I'm gonna be real, this is honestly, like, look at the hip fire, by the way. The hipfire is cracked. Here's the thing that makes it broken right now. Before it was really, really good. But basically it has squad barrel, which is the assault rifle long barrel for some reason. This gives it better max damage range, better min damage range, better velocity by quite a bit, better penetration. As you can see, it has 3.3 studs of pen. This is a 50 cal, by the way. It's a 50 cal DMR. Not 50 BMG, but 50 Beowulf, and lower recoil. So basically what you have is a gun that does 91 damage to the body in close range, 62 limb, and can one-shot headshot to like at least 100 studs, as well as having amazing hip fire and can shoot very fast. So up close, this is a very easy two-shot and a one-shot headshot. And yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Not only is this gun insane, I'm also cracked with this gun. I don't know why. Somehow I just actually go off with this gun. I hit way more headshots. It has a little bit of drop to it. But the long barrel definitely helps with the drop. It has almost 2000 velocity. So if you can deal with VSS drop, you can definitely deal with this. It has like 500 more velocity. Overall, this is a 5 out of 5. And in my opinion, this is, I'm gonna be real, I like it more than the SL8 with the marksman barrel, which is not necessarily meaning that it's better than that. It has like way less velocity and 1/3 the magazine capacity, but it does have a little bit more RPM and just does better damage. So yeah, of course, up close, this just eviscerates people. If you're really good at hitting 2 consecutive shots or 1 headshot, while at range, it will take at most 3 shots to kill. And honestly, in most scenarios, because it can 2-shot torso ranges, it will be a 2-shot at any range, unless you're hitting heads, and then it will be a 1. So basically, use this gun is all I'm saying. Keep in mind, this is a very high skill ceiling gun. I'm not gonna lie. You gotta hit consecutive shots to be really good with it, and you gotta hit your headshots to be insane with it. And also, you gotta control drop and stuff, and it does have a little bit of recoil. So this is not an everyman's gun. This is not like the M16A3. Not everybody's gonna do well with this gun, but if you are good and you can hit your shots, this is like the best gun in the entire game for me, at least. Like, I don't know, man. The squad barrel basically made this gun go from extremely good to like top tier in my opinion. Easily, this is a 5 out of 5. Please use it. I want to see more people using this gun, man. Next up, we have the SA58, which before I would have said is possibly the best DMR in the game. It has 500 RPM, 20 round capacity, but a very slow reload time, slowest in class, I do believe, but it can one-shot headshot to 50 studs, which is not bad because it can shoot so fast. And yes, it can 3-hit kill up close, but just like the M3A1, it's usually going to be a 2-shot because 48 with a torso multi means 1 limb and 1 torso will kill, and also it has a 2.1 times headshot multi. Basically means, yes, it's going to one-shot headshot up close, but be a 2-shot to the head at any range, which is really good. Lots of drop, not amazing recoil, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, this is not a long-range gun. This is a extremely powerful close range foul. If you want a foul that does really cracked damage and is more like a foul from a different game, you know how most fouls in most games will be semi-auto but will do very high damage. This is for you, one-shot headshot up close, extremely fast RPM, extremely good 2-hit kills. In my opinion, the TCR is just better as this is a 4-hit kill at range even with torso. So this is a 4-hit kill torso and this is a 2-hit kill torso. This has more than double the one-shot kill head range but only 100 less RPM and a very fast reload time, 2.3 seconds instead of 3.2 seconds. So yeah, I will be giving this one a 5 out of 5 because I feel like it is very top tier for DMRs. And yeah, before I would have said that this is the best CQC DMR in the game. However, when it really comes down to it, one-shot headshot to like medium range, like this will not always one-shot headshot up close because the stud is pretty short. I'm not gonna lie. You could be in a building with somebody and still be 50 studs away. But yeah, this is still a 5 out of 5 if you want a little bit more RPM as well as a bigger magazine. This is really, really good. Definitely better than SOCOM. Do not use SOCOM over the SA58. Just don't use SOCOM. Just use the default gun. It's so cracked. But finally, we have the gun known as the SCAR SSR. Now, the SCAR SSR, I would have said before, is like the best DMR in the game. And yeah, it is a extremely powerful DMR with a crazy one-shot kill to the head range, a 2-hit kill to the body basically all the time, and a crazy torso multiplier. This gun does like 57 to the limbs, right? It does 96 torso. It gets like 30 extra damage when you hit the biggest hitbox on the body. So basically, it can one-shot to anybody to the body who is damaged at all. And yeah, if you want an SVU but more RPM and a little bit more velocity, this is a very good option. I'm not gonna lie. This is like one of the best, if not the best DMR in the entire game. Before, it was hands down the best, but like with the DMRs actually getting some big changes, this is not necessarily the best. It's never gotten a nerf. But if you want the classic high damage DMR feel, this is the slowest firing and highest recoil DMR in the entire game. However, it does the most damage. So if you want that, this is really good. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 because it deserves it. It has like a 170 stud, 1-hit kill to the head range. However, the TCR shoots basically 2 times as fast and still 2-shot torso at range. And yeah, it has like half the velocity, but it's not half. It's actually like 1,000 less. It's still 1,000 less, but the TCR is, in my opinion, better because the TCR pops off in close range. This is meh in close range, and the TCR still works great at long range. This is obviously a little bit better in long range, probably, depending on how you use it. This is, in my opinion, the 3rd best DMR in the game now, instead of the 1st. I would say my order would go for top 3. This gun, the SL8 with marksman barrel, and finally the TCR, because TCR is, in my opinion, like my my favorite gun in the game right now. Maybe I'm biased, but I didn't even like it that much before. So yeah, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, that is every DMR ranked in Phantom Forces. This was a very fun one because, okay, 185 and that wouldn't kill, so like 170 I think is the headshot kill range of this. It's fun to look back on a class that actually has gotten a lot of changes recently, because the meta for DMRs has basically stayed exactly the same for the longest time, and I know a lot of people don't like the DMRs. It's my favorite class in the game, basically, that and PDWs. Super underrated class. I recommend you check out at least the TCR, maybe pre-buy Marksman Barrel on the SLA. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.